There's no shortage of marketing advice online. Post every day, be on every platform, go viral, just run ads. SEO is dead, email is dead, everything is dead. In this episode, we're breaking down the marketing advice we hear all the time and why we disagree with some or most of it.
All right, so welcome to another episode where we shit talk some things. This will be a fun one.
I love
Just
shit
get that
talking
little
things.
explicit banner ready to go on this one. We won't be too bad. Yeah, I love this topic. So we're going to talk today about marketing advice that works in the right context, but then also like the stuff that gets shared and you're like, oh, that looks like a magic bullet, and it's just absolute crap.
Mhm.
So we'll walk through a few rules and discuss like why they spread, when they might be true, where they usually go wrong, and what's like happening that you just need to avoid. And this is a fun one. I have seen so many videos online of like what was the other one? There's like fire your marketing agency is how a lot of them start. Or there's
Yeah.
a woman that said, what was it? You're doing paid ads all wrong. It's not about your targeting, it's about your strategy. And it's like, well, targeting is kind of part of strategy, but whatever. But she had, of course, a course to sell you that was 90 minutes where she would teach you how to do her method that's guaranteed to quadruple your results. And I was like, so part of me is always tempted to be like, I want to do it just to see, and then just like go hound her about like how it didn't work.
I was gonna
But
say a
anyway,
lot of marketing advice is just framed uh, to sell you things
snake
and
oil.
nothing
I think
more.
we called it snake oil back in the day in the
Hmm.
1800s, if I recall. Okay, so we've got a cocktail today, though. So this one is named after my dog. Not really. My dog's name is Cosmo, but we do call him Cosmonaut or Cosmonutter sometimes. But the Cosmonaut. So
So
my guess is I thought there would be vodka in this because it's kind of a Russian term, but it's not.
So this was created by Sasha Petrosky, which sounds very Russian, in New York City, as a subtle tongue-in-cheek response to the rise of the cosmopolitan. So it's kind of their riff on a cosmopolitan, and it's another one of those really simple cocktails that I think sounds great. I mean, there's not much to it, but yeah.
Yeah, I have all these things except lemons. I need to get lemons. So, yeah, so it could also be like a Cosmo not, like not a Cosmo, you know?
Yeah.
But a little play on words there, I think, with that. But cosmonaut like astronaut. Okay, so just three ingredients: 2 ounces of gin, 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice. It's like just a half a lemon, probably is going to give you that much, and 1 bar spoon of raspberry preserves. So I have blackberry preserves that I would probably use. I'll bet
Oh.
that would be amazing too. Um, so you combine those all in a cocktail shaker filled with ice. That's going to be important because your raspberry preserves are going to be, I mean, it's jelly, right? Like it's
Hmm.
preserved, so it's going to be thick, but you need to get it like infused really very quickly in all of that gin. Shake it until you're chilled, about 15 seconds, or until it's chilled, I guess, and then strain it into a chilled coupe glass and enjoy. Preserves are going to have seeds in them.
Yeah.
So if you want to be cautious about this, your cocktail shaker strainer probably has holes that are too big for this, so you might want to run it through, more of a sieve. I mean, you could put it
Fine
through
mesh.
cheesecloth if you wanted to, or a fine mesh. Yeah, we've got a little round like strainer that's got a really tight metal mesh to it that I would use on this, and it also just sets right on top of your glass because it's designed for this. But yeah, otherwise you can have seeds in your teeth. But whatever.
Yeah.
This sounds great. Like, make me a picture of this and let's just drink it on the porch every day.
I think most of these are ones that we can pretty confidently make at home, especially like this,
Mhm.
the ones that we've done this year. And if I
Yeah.
ever wanted to get into cocktail making, I feel like this one would be a really easy like start
You know what? I would probably take 2 whole raspberries, like fresh ones, and just float them in it.
as an
Um,
optional garnish. That's a good idea.
yeah. Or a couple frozen blueberries might be good. The blueberry raspberry thing,
Oh yeah,
you know?
that would be
All right.
good.
Anyway, we're embellishing the drink, but this one really does need a garnish, I think. I mean, it's going to be pretty, and Cosmos usually have a lemon twist as a garnish. You could do that. But yeah, so this is from punchdrink.com. We love them. And it's called the Cosmonaut. Um, all right. So I think we'll take a break and get into the episode. All right, we're back. Did I step on you? You were going to introduce, weren't you? I'll just shut up. You can say hi.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, all right.
We're back.
We are, and we're going to talk about crop marketing advice.
Yeah. So
Um,
some of these are more broad. Um, they're kind of a collection of ones that I found across the internet.
mhm.
Reddit's a good place to find bad marketing advice. um, so if you're looking for that, go to Reddit. But the first one we have here is you need a big budget to compete, like a big
Yeah,
marketing budget.
I mean, it helps, right?
Definitely helps.
Um, you can be messy and sloppy when you've got a big budget. But I'll tell you, when I, in my previous life, when I was working for a small regional wireless carrier that they've all now been swallowed up by the major carriers, it still exists. We had a $30 million budget. When I started, we had a $10 million budget, and we got it up to a $30 million budget, which was great. Um, but we were competing with Verizon, who had a $1.2 billion budget, and AT&T that was spending $800 million a year. You just can't compete with them. I mean, and T-Mobile was spending less, but they were still in the 400 or 500 million. So it gets like you've got to really think through your priorities and where you go, but you don't have to have those giant budgets. Um, I mean, there's also the point that half of your marketing budget is wasted. You just don't know which half. Well, if you're doing digital and lead gen, you probably know which half, and you can bring that in. Um, but yeah, I think there's a lot of noise for the big brands, right? Like they fight with each other. Coke and Pepsi like battle it out. But I guarantee you that, Olipop isn't spending what Coke and Pepsi are spending. Although they get
No,
bought by
yeah.
one of them now.
Probably. I know Poppy probably has. Maybe
Poppy did, I
Poppy
think.
definitely did. I don't know about Olipop, but I wouldn't be
Okay.
surprised.
I had an Olipop grape the other day. I thought it was lovely. I was just like feeling
That's my
like,
favorite flavor, I think. It tastes
I was like,
it's like the
go ahead.
most it's a good grape flavor. It doesn't
Hmm.
taste weird. Like it's almost a better grape soda in my opinion, but
Yeah, it is. And it's like only what, like 20 or 30 calories or something. It's really low, or 50 maybe. Anyway, so like you can spend less. Dollar Shave Club is a great example. They were not
mhm.
spending like what Gillette was. They've since been acquired by, I think, Unilever or somebody. But
And they've done some
you
really
can.
creative marketing
Mhm.
too.
Yep. Yeah, so you can grow faster by focusing on a niche, right?
Mhm.
Like, you know, Olipop isn't trying to be everything to everybody. Dollar Shave Club wasn't trying to knock Gillette and Schick off the top of the market right away. They were trying to go for this audience that was price conscious about razors and blades because they were just ridiculously expensive, but just wanted a decent razor and a decent shave. And that audience was a little bit irreverent. They were a little bit of kind of a rebel, and they were able to focus on them with mostly internet marketing. I think it was the viral video that the founder did, that took off first. But it was just engaging content.
Mhm. And I think that where the bad advice in this is you can't just throw money at your marketing and expect it to work. Yes,
Correct.
with some of the paid like advertising like platforms with like social and like Google search stuff, having a bigger budget is advantageous,
Mhm.
but I don't think it's going to make the marketing that you're doing better. You might have higher volume, but the quality of well, we're going to talk about this next, but the quality of leads you're getting in and the quality of like I don't know, you probably it's like you said you can be a lot you
You
can
can be
be a little
sloppy.
a little sloppy when you have more budget, but I don't think it's going to make your marketing better having a bigger budget.
No, and I think, oh, sorry, more money just amplifies whatever's wrong or
Yeah.
whatever's right. And so if you're getting the right leads in and you've got your targeting really honed in, incrementally adding budget to that is going to help. Throwing a whole bunch of money at that, if you don't have that honed in, you're going to have huge impressions with a whole bunch of people that don't care. You're going to have a whole bunch of clicks of looky loos and people just wanting to come see what you've got. But your actual conversion rates are going to plummet. And would your gross sales go up? Yeah, potentially, but your return on ad spend is going to go down because you're hitting too many people and it's too broad. Like in this day and age, that kind of, like, I think we used to call it like shotgun or buckshot media approach where you just try to hit everybody and hope that like 10% of them are the people you want. It's more like, like lasering in on who you want and
Mhm.
getting those kind of 10 people to do what you want them to do. Um, and that's, I think, where you can really win as a small brand is you can be more efficient. You can be reaching the right people more tightly. You can be ignoring huge audiences. Hardest thing for people to do ever, because every business owner thinks that they have a thing for everybody. You don't. Figuring out who you're just not, you're going to ignore. You're not going to worry about them. You're going to leave them off to the side. Um,
Yeah.
Reminds me of I feel like I've got a story for everything from my past, but I worked on Propel Fitness Water in the early days. Now granted, PepsiCo, it was a sub brand of Gatorade, so it had some of that momentum, but flavored waters were mostly just for people who liked flavor. There was no fitness aspect to it, no vitamins in it, nothing like that. So they were kind of really trying to build a new market to expand the Gatorade brand. And what they found is, like, they went after in the beginning, um, it was mostly people who were active but not athletes, so they were below the Gatorade brand, but they
Mhm.
were active more like I'm a amateur tennis in my town kind of person. I run every day kind of person who really liked hydrating and preferred a flavored water over a non-flavored, but they wanted the benefits of it. So they went after very active people. Now, one of the things they also did is they got on the shelf at Walmart.
Mhm.
And Gatorade is on the shelf at Walmart. Gatorade is about athletes and, replenishing the things that your body needs. Does Gatorade care that people who sit on their couch all day buy orange Gatorade at Walmart because they think it tastes good and they can find it at Walmart for cheap? No, they don't care. Do they advertise to them? No, they don't advertise to them. It happens to be there, and they're just a bring along audience. And Propel had the same thing. It was just people like, I like blueberry, or not blueberry, they never had a blueberry, but I like lemon flavored water. And they've got a lemon flavored water, and it's at my Walmart, and it's easy for me to get, and away I go. So there's that distribution strategy. But when it came to their advertising dollars, it was a much smaller budget than a lot. I mean, it was a big budget, but it was a lot smaller than like what Gatorade was spending, or definitely than what Pepsi was spending on the flagship brands. But they made it work by really honing in on who they wanted. And I think that that's a really good example. Like, if you can do it with a startup within a major company where you're really limited on what you could do, you can do it as a small business 100%. Like, you don't have to
Mhm.
spend, $2 million. You can take $2,000, $20,000 and actually get something out of it, pretty
Well,
significant.
and I think some of the best marketing is created or like is executed through those like smaller budgets or when you're forced to think outside of the box and be more creative with what you're doing because it's easy to make like a campaign, just throw a bunch of money at it and then get a bunch of leads. But going on to our next point, just because you get a lot of leads doesn't mean that it's more leads doesn't equal better marketing, for lack of a better
Correct.
term.
So people love this one because it's easy. Every platform gives you, so it used to be impressions and clicks, right?
Hmm.
Impressions and clicks, we just more clicks is better. And it's like, well, no, then it became the right clicks are better. And now it's like, okay, the clicks that convert and turn into a lead are better. And yeah, if that's all you can measure, people love seeing volume. They love seeing those percent numbers go up. It's easy to optimize by number of leads on almost any platform. Um, but yeah, it's wrong. Why is it wrong, Zach? Because I agree with you 100%. This one sucks.
Because I think a lot of people are saying, like, a lot of companies sell to you, like, that are like, how do I say this? They always say you want more and more and more, like, leads. You want a high volume of leads. But if those leads are crap and they aren't going to actually, like, convert into actual business, then it doesn't matter how many leads you get. You get thousands of leads and, like, only, like, and none of them are actually, like, good for your business. It's like
Hmm.
when people sell, like, email lists that you can, like, send out stuff to or like
Yep.
stuff like that or like buy lead like big lists of like contacts.
Yeah, it's not a volume game, it's a quality game. So
Exactly.
what's really interesting, more leads doesn't equal better marketing, like revenue growth equals better marketing. Higher return on ad spend equals better marketing. And that's really where I think everybody can get to is every business, even a nonprofit, is down to the dollars. It's about donations, it's about sales, it's about how much money is coming in. The other issue you have with a high lead volume, if you're a high touch business like us, So when we get someone in, we have to physically do a discovery call. Like we can do a little bit of qualification via email or a form, but we've got to sit on the phone with them. And a lot of sales organizations are like that. And if you can only be responding to quality leads, you're going to be much better off than responding to a higher volume of leads. Um, so yeah, it's just, I don't know, it drives me crazy. And we do have, we've had some clients, and I know a lot of people who the best thing we can track on right now is leads. We can't track on financial metrics yet. And a lot of what we do is we really try to push to get those in and get integrated with those systems, because your platforms can optimize on revenue. Absolutely, they can optimize on revenue and return on ad spend, as long as they're receiving the data. And there's, multiple ways to do that. But this one drives me crazy because like we would need 4 leads a year if we had the right leads. We'd probably add 2 clients. Great. Totally good. Golden. Like, but does it do anything for me to have 5,000 leads this year? Yeah, it gives me a headache.
Well, and there's
Um,
so many like marketing tools like that are people are trying to sell you that'll get you like a ton of leads, or this will get you so many. Everyone's trying to sell on volume without like wondering or thinking about, okay, is the volume I'm getting actually valuable for my business, like you said, or am I just getting a lot of people learning about who I am, but they don't give
yeah.
a shit. Like they do not give a shit about what I do or what my business does.
Yeah, and I think if you can measure your lead to conversion rate, your lead to customer rate, that's going to help you understand how tight your positioning is, how tight your messaging is, and if you're reaching the right audience. And if that number is extremely low, for your industry especially, and you can just Google in your industry, what's the conversion rate from a lead, blah blah blah. If it's extremely low, then you've got a lot of work to do in really honing in and optimizing your marketing.
Hmm.
Um, it's the old thing, like we lose $2 for every one of these we for every widget we sell, we lose $2, but we'll make it up on volume. It's like, no, you'll just go out of business faster. Like you can't make up for poor positioning or poor targeting
Yeah,
with high volume on leads. It's
you need to
just stupid.
really understand your target audience and your customer and
Yep.
align your
And
marketing to that journey of how they actually make decisions with like purchasing and buying services.
yep. Next time I get an email for there's probably one in my inbox right now. If I go look, I'll forward it to you. But it's like, what if I told you I could get you 5,000 leads by the end of the month?
I'm pretty
And
sure I'm pretty sure we got one that was on LinkedIn that said, "Hey, Antidote 71 and Zach, I can help get your podcast in front of more like people." And I was like, okay, like, why are you calling me out by name?
yeah, this isn't really it's not necessarily a lead gen podcast. It's more of just a thought leadership and a fun project that we have.
Mhm.
So yeah, so that one sucks. Volume isn't always everything. Cash is. Give me more cash. That's great.
Work on your positioning and targeting.
Yep.
This final one is one that I see a lot, and everyone disagrees over this. It kind of depends on who you are and what your business is, but a lot of people, especially influencers, say post every day to grow. Now, the reason that this is so like prevalent and people say this, especially like in B2C and like if you're an influencer, is because algorithm speculation. So
Uh-huh.
there's a lot of different opinions on what different algorithms value in your content, and everybody's saying like you need to post every day and have a consistent schedule. That's only half true, right? Having a consistent schedule is more important
Correct.
than posting every day. And
100%.
you might see some short-term engagement spikes from posting every day at first, but audience fatigue is super real. If you're posting the same stuff every single day of every month, your audience is going to get tired of it. Doesn't matter how good the
Uh-huh.
content is. Doesn't matter if it's perfect, like perfectly targeted towards your target audience. If you're not respecting their time and focusing on creating good in-depth content that meets them where they're at, it doesn't matter how much you post per day.
Yeah. For me, it's consistency. Like there's some creators that I follow, like influencers, whatever you want to call them, mostly on Instagram. Um, that they post once a week or they post twice a week. Like some of the ones that I like the best though is like there's one set of guys that every Sunday at noon they do a vlog. Every Sunday at noon it goes live on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, I believe it is. And I just know on Sunday afternoon I can go look for that. And it's great. Now they do other stuff during the week, but that's kind of their wrap up weekly, kind of what's going on in their life and all that. That's interesting. And they do like home renovations and other stuff. Like they're really interesting to me. Like there's a lot of topics that overlap, like food and family and home decorating and renovations and things. So they have huge numbers of people that jump in on those
Hmm.
and watch it that afternoon. And a lot of times they'll do a live chat during it. Like they'll open up a live chat, which is nice as well. But if they did that kind of content every single day, I would go crazy.
Yeah, I
Like
think everyone
it
would.
just it's too much.
And I
And
think,
there's
oh,
also a few people that I do see post every day.
mhm.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no. Sorry, you're
But like
good.
people who I see post every day, but I get I get repetitive stuff, right? Like you said, like you're like, "Oh, I saw this 2 days ago and now it's back? Like why? I don't care. Like, and why am I seeing this again?" Or it's just like the three-parter, right? Like, "Tune in tomorrow for more. Tune in tomorrow for the final story." No, I'm not gonna tune in tomorrow. You're not a TV show.
Mhm.
Like, I'm done with you.
Well, and
So
I think people sometimes get caught up in, listening to advice that's not necessarily, like, for you when it comes to your social media.
mhm.
So, there's a lot of general catch-all things that people will say and, like, like, social media, like, users will say that work for them, and they'll sell you, like, "This social media plan helped us, like, grow this big of an audience." Well, just because it helped them doesn't mean it's gonna help you. Much like marketing trends, just because someone's posting every day and it's working for them doesn't mean it'll work for your audience. So,
Mhm.
understanding that just because they might say an algorithm prefers this style of posting every day or this style of post doesn't mean it'll necessarily resonate with your target audience on that platform. There's things you can do to basically fit within the algorithm that are worth like following, but posting every day is not one of them. Find what works for you, find a cadence and consistency that works for you, and go from there.
Yep, 100%. And I think that that's a really great place to kind of wrap things up. It's really about, I think this whole thing, it's about quality and consistency. It is not about how much money you spend, how often you do something, or how much of like X you get in. Like you've really got to figure out what works for you. And I think the other piece is if somebody's telling you an absolute, you must post every day, you must spend more than your competitor, you must have more leads this week than last week. If it's an absolute like that and growth is the only option in spend, in whatever, um, there's probably some crap there going on. Like
Yeah.
it's really more nuanced than that. And we didn't even get into some of the like real snake oil stuff. Like these are pretty broad,
Hmm.
like concepts and ideas that people share, right? Like and yes, they can work. Spending the most money in your market, yes, you can absolutely win at that. Are you going to waste a whole lot? Yes, you are. But if you don't have the budget for that, then being smart about it and being consistent about it is the way to go.
100%. As always, you can find our agency at antidote71.com and all of our socials are there as well. If you have a question you'd like to send our way, or maybe some bad marketing advice that you got from someone that you'd like to share for us to discuss, head to ctapodcast.live to shoot us an email, or even better, leave us a voice message on our hotline at 402-718-9971. Your question will make it into a future episode of the podcast.
All right, and I think, the one thing I will note is, you're playing with TikTok now, right, for us?
We're looking into it. We're
Isn't that
testing the
happening?
new integration for HubSpot to see how
Yeah.
well it can do and if it will be effective because there's still some things I'm curious about. I was looking at the like
Mhm.
yesterday. I don't want to spoil it, but there's some things that they should probably add to improve the functionality a little
Alright, so if
bit.
you wanna follow that one, it's not on the website, but it's just antidote_71, just like Instagram and Threads, antidote_71. And you can see what Zach does to experiment there, and we'll talk about it in a future episode, I'm sure.
100%.
Alright, with that, I had to throw that in. With that, we can be done. See
All
you later,
right.
Zach.
See ya.